Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are well and taking good care of your mental health. I'm back with another reaction video to episode 3, Blue Therapy. If you haven't seen my reaction videos to episode 1 and 2, I will leave them in the description bar. Now, episode 3, I'm assuming, is session 3. So in this session, expect the therapist to explore a lot more about the history of the couples, and also expect for the therapist to explore the conflicts that the couples are going through, and for both couples to be very open and honest about what they're experiencing. We may even find some things where the couples are sharing things that they haven't shared in their relationship before. But this is what therapy is all about. Therapy is all about being comfortable and confident in your environment and being willing to explore your relationship much more deeper than normal. So let's get started.
Can I find out a bit more about your family history?
Well, certainly. So I've got 3 sisters. My mother and father, obviously I live with them. I've been brought up by very, very strong women, so dealing with Deborah is not a problem at all. I believe she's actually a strong woman. That's part of the reason why I got with her. Obviously I'm Ghanaian as well. I'm really traditional, but there is some modifications because obviously I was born and brought up in London. So
has Deborah met your family? Jamal?
Not yet.
Why's that, Jamal?
We've had this discussion before. So I fall with Deborah because she's just very loud, I should say. There's times where
Loud?
Yeah, loud. I feel like there's moments of times where you kind of have to balance the two. You need to know your place in terms of being loud and then being quiet. And I feel like at this current moment of time, I don't think she'll not exactly clash per se with my parents or my family. But I feel like there's things that she kind of has to show.
But what are you worried about?
I just want to make sure that she gets it right. I feel like my family mean a lot to me.
And mine don't, because you've met my family. Not being funny, but Jamal has never seen me in a situation whereby I have to calm myself or like in a situation with a parent or a family member. So I'm not really sure where he's getting the fact that I'm going to be like super loud or disrespectful. I 100% think he's making excuses. I don't know why he doesn't want to bring me around his family, but it's definitely shady.
Now, you might be wondering, why has the therapist asked Jamal about his history? Now, when it comes to relationships, your history, your family history and your upbringing is essentially the blueprint that you use when you are going into relationships. Now, what Jamal is demonstrating here is his core values. And your core values are very important when it comes to relationships because they're principles that guide and govern your lifestyle essentially and shape your core beliefs. So as Jamal has said, he's a very traditional person, he's Ghanaian, his parents are quiet, and he's having a bit of conflict with Deborah in a sense where she's loud and she needs to understand a time when there is to be loud and then a time when there's to be quiet. So I guess he's just sharing his tradition and just being outspoken about how he also wants to have his family, where he wants his partner to be able to understand his core values and understand his family. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Let me know in the comment section, do you think a year is too long to meet the family?
You know, us Ghanaians and Nigerians, like, obviously Nigerians are a bit loud. Well, Deborah is loud personally, so how my parents might take to her is a bit, I don't know. I don't know how she'll actually act in front of my parents, but would my parents take to the fact that she's so loud? I think not.
I know how to be respectful with parents. Do I scream and shout in front of my parents disrespectfully?
But that's your parents.
Okay, I don't want you to ask that question because I'm going to get annoyed.
Jamal, have your parents questioned whether you have a girlfriend, or have they asked any questions?
A couple questions here and there, but I kind of...
And what have you said?
I've not played it down. I said I'm seeing someone.
Okay.
Yeah, so they know somebody's there, but like...
So now we're seeing each other now?
Gosh, let's...
Oh. Wow. That's interesting.
Is there another reason as to why you might not want to be introducing Deborah to your family?
I just want to make sure I'm getting it right, if I'm going to be honest. Like I said, this is my 4th relationship and I'm hoping for it to be my last. Like, I do see a great future between myself and Deborah. Like, it's not a me and you, it's more like a we thing.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Can you accept that?
No. I don't feel like it's right for you to have met my family and for me to not have met yours. Like,
We're doing comparison.
And that actually makes me feel quite insecure. It makes me feel quite down.
Culturally, are you the same background, you know, family values, etc.?
I mean, we're both African. I'm Nigerian. But I don't think that should be a problem. Like, it doesn't make a difference.
You may not feel like that, but
Regardless.
let me be honest with you. Yeah, with my parents, like, they're the type of parents that they would expect me to be with another Ghanaian girl. However, their choices is not my choices.
Yeah, and that's more reason why I should meet them earlier so that they're prepared to meet a Nigerian babe.
And I get that, but still, that's still down to me, right? So I can't just leave that into my hands.
So when am I going to meet them?
Which family do you want to meet first?
Just meet your family.
Well, maybe we'll come back to that another time. But, you know, if you want to talk about it again at any time.
I don't want to talk about it. It's very irritating for me to speak about because it doesn't make sense. It's not making sense right now.
Okay.
Cross-culture relationships. Now, different cultures have different beliefs, different values, different norms, different lifestyles, and I guess Jamal is just being very particular, and he's being very safe when it comes to his family and his cultural values. Now, as he said, he's Ghanaian, Deborah's Nigerian, so they have different lifestyles and different upbringings, different core beliefs. And I guess it's all about adjusting to the new family, because I guess when you're in a relationship, you want it to be serious and you want this person to be the person you marry. So it's all about coming together as a family and adjusting to the differences within their family. So I feel that Jamal is justifying himself well as to his reasoning as to why he wants to take his time with introducing Deborah to his family.
Thank you for coming back in. And we just explain that, you know, these first therapy sessions, it's a lot to take in. There's a lot of emotion involved. Please don't feel that that was an unusual scenario. This kind of thing happens all the time.
I love how Denise has normalised what happens in couples counselling, because it is a very highly emotional provoking environment and setting, especially when the cameras are rolling as well. So Paul has just entered the room and Denise has essentially normalised that these things happen, and don't feel that you're alone in this situation because it's normal, and it's all about coming back and finding that grounding and being able to explore your emotions and understand a bit more about why did you walk outside, what triggered that, and just get a better understanding.
It's okay. Right?
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I said it from the get-go, this whole idea is bullcrap. Now with Denise herself, like, what? If we kind of check the credentials, which I'm sure when Chioma was booking the session, she didn't do, like, how do we even know she is the right person for the therapy anyway? This is not going to work. This is actually making the situation worse. Like, it's a hot mess.
Going back.
Right, I've got a question. Do you think the culture of a therapist matters in a therapy session? Do you think Denise should have been a black therapist, or do you think that this doesn't really matter? If she's a therapist and she's qualified, she should be able to do her job in her therapy session. Let me know in the comment section, do you think the therapist who should have been providing the couples therapy should have been someone who is a bit more culturally competent and aware of the background of their clients? Because Paul has just said, how do we know that Denise is suitable to be the therapist and help these couples? Which he does have a valid point in saying that, but let me know how you guys think in the comments below.
Do you trust her when she's out? I think is probably the best way to ask the question.
Of course.
Right. So if you both trust each other, there shouldn't really be an issue with what's going on outside.
Ideally, there shouldn't be.
Is there anything that's making you feel uncomfortable?
No.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to talk?
No.
If I could just get to the end of my sentence.
I know what you were going to say.
What was I going to say?
Babe, discussion. He's going to listen to you.
Is there anything that you'd like to discuss with CHIOMA regarding your relationship?
No.
Okay, well, I have something I'd like to bring up.
Yeah, go on.
Obviously, I don't mean to trigger you again,
No,
but we're here to kind of discuss our issues, and I want to put it out there. It's a sensitive topic. It's his family. It's his sister, basically. So, his sister. For me, I don't want to be rude about it. I just want to get it out, because at the end of the day, he doesn't see my point when it comes to this. But poor sister doesn't like me. And I say this because she always has something to say about me. Every time, she sees me, this is someone that knows me off the platform. For example, this is someone that says I don't know how to look after kids. But every given opportunity, she dumps her kids on me. And I'm not using the word dump loosely. She literally just gives me her kids anytime she wants to go out. And he sees it as experience. But to me, it's more of her trying to make me her babysitter.
Family conflict. Family conflict is very common in relationships, and it can actually damage relationships if not handled in the right way. Common conflicts in family can be relationship issues, or families intervening in relationships, or money difficulties, various different difficulties when it comes to family conflict. Now, one thing that Paul said is that he's surprised that CHIOMA has brought this to the therapy session. And this may be the case because CHIOMA may feel uncomfortable with speaking about this within the family setting. And CHIOMA feels that the therapy session is a comfortable place to speak about her problems and issues. Also, Paul has said that he finds the therapy session to be very negative, and he has not received anything positive from the session so far. Bearing in mind, we're only in session 3, and session 3 is all about exploring, understanding the problem. So as the sessions will continue, Paul will become, hopefully, a bit more open and a bit more understanding about the difficulties that they're experiencing. Because when it comes to therapy, if you have a lack of understanding about the issues and the difficulties, it's going to be very hard for you to move forward. So I guess maybe Paul might be feeling very uncomfortable with the issues that are being addressed, hence why he thinks that the therapy sessions are very negative.
Yeah, that makes you insecure.
One of the recent issues that we had is Clubhouse again. He actually blocked me on Clubhouse. I made that app quite late, and he decided to block me. He has this program that he does, I think Moderation TV, and what they do is they kind of do like a take me out sort of vibe. I don't know if you know the show.
Yeah.
So he's always on stage, and girls or guys have the opportunity to say whether they, shoot their shot basically at a guy that they kind of fancy. Now, Jamel is on stage because that's his show, but what I realised is that in listening to the show, because he doesn't know that I actually knew that he blocked me because I was with my friends. It's quite a tricky situation, but anyways, I heard the conversation, and I heard that fellow members of his team who had girlfriends, if a girl wanted to speak to them, they'll say, okay, he's out of bounds, so the conversation shut down. But Jamel, on the other hand, he doesn't do that, and so girls will be speaking to him. I know you're going to say it's Clubhouse and all. I don't care. Girls are still speaking to you and you're entertaining it. I don't like that. And that's something that does make me feel insecure.
Why are you so fixated on Clubhouse?
Yeah, because you love the app so much.
Denise, okay, with Moderation TV, there's someone called Jamal, and obviously I'm Jamel. So I feel like she's muddling up the two names.
No, I'm not. I know your voice.
Babe, please. And me blocking her is just... because she wants to be so in my social media activity, I feel like I just need the time and space.
No, blocking me is dodgy.
I guess what Jamal is essentially saying is that he feels that Deborah is very controlling, as he has said in previous sessions. And so the one thing that he finds comfortable in doing, and the one thing that he loves and one thing that he enjoys, he feels that Deborah wants to come and control that, hence why he's blocked Deborah off his social media platform. Now, I would like Denise to explore a bit further about why he has blocked Deborah and what he's maybe afraid of or scared of if Deborah is on his Clubhouse and if Deborah can hear what he's doing. Let me know in the comment section, do you think it's okay for your partner to block you on social media, or do you think that's a red flag?
How did you know it was a female?
I could see.
Oh, God.
I could see. Once he tried to duck and dive behind the waiter, I actually
Duck and dive.
saw.
First of all, I'm not shady. And I told her when I came back.
You do shady things. I didn't say you're shady, I said you do shady things.
Okay, cool. It was an old client, and we were just catching up. It wasn't 10 minutes, pretty much 3 minutes. We spoke about her weight loss journey and how she's keeping.
Okay, so why is it that you can tell Denise but you can't tell me when I ask you at the restaurant?
Because we're at a date. Like, let's focus on us.
No, when I ask you a question, I'd like for you to answer, please.
Yeah, but I didn't want to spoil the mood. I wanted to focus on
Okay,
us.
but that spoiled the mood because you didn't answer. You didn't answer when I asked you what you guys were talking about.
Deborah has expressed her insecurities, and I think Jamal needs to take a sit back and just really understand that the behaviour Deborah is engaging in is because she is very emotionally fragile and quite insecure. Now, whether this is because of her past relationship, she's been in situations where the partner has made her feel insecure, but this is something that I think should be explored in a lot more detail, and for Jamal to be a bit understanding in relation to her insecurities and why she feels insecure. It's not about so much the situation, it's about the core belief and the meaning behind the situation. So yes, the situation triggered Deborah to feel insecure, but it's all about her core beliefs in relation to what she is seeing and how she interprets that situation.
You aware that Deborah's feeling insecure with these different situations?
This is the first time she's actually spoke on her insecurities and given examples, I should say, on how it makes her feel. Like, we spoke about it, but I just thought it's nothing too deep, just brushed it over.
It's nothing too deep. If I'm expressing, and this is where I feel like your anger gets the best of you, because when we discuss such a conversation, it's like he doesn't want to hear it. I think it definitely... No, you don't want to hear it.
Other than him going off at that restaurant with the phone,
Yeah.
otherwise he's very happy for you to see what's going on his phone, isn't
Oh my goodness, definitely not. Definitely not. At the mill, the same day that we were out, Jamel will have his phone on the table down, like literally can't see his notification.
Wait, and do you know why?
Why?
Because you complain about work.
Oh, now you want to twist it, yeah?
No, it's
now
not
you want to
like-
twist it.
Oh,
Interesting. Now you twisted it.
So Denise, obviously she complains about work so much. I thought, let me just turn my phone over so she doesn't see no notifications.
That's
on the phone.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because you still pull it out and you still open the clubhouse, you still respond to messages, and then
What? When I'm on a date with you?
yes.
So what? Are you trying to tell me that I prioritise clubbers with you?
Regardless of the fact I can't see the context of your phone, I can count on one hand how many times I've touched your phone in 365 days that we've been together. So,
And tell me, Jamal, are you allowed to use or touch Deborah's phone?
I don't need to.
he knows my password.
Yeah, I know your password, but I don't.
Do I know yours?
I think it's open.
Okay. I don't know his password.
Okay.
Personal belongings and relationships. Now, personally, I don't think that your partner needs to know your password to your phone. Now, it all depends on your relationship and it depends on the agreement or what you guys speak about and agree to. But I think when it comes to relationships, you still are separate individuals, and it's important for you to have your privacy and your security within your own self and what you do. Obviously, if you're up to no good, then that's a red flag. But it's important that you both have your individual lives and you don't feel that you need to control other people's possessions. And what I'm getting from here is Deborah wanting to control Jamal's possessions. Now, this also may be feeding into her insecurity and a reason why she's insecure, and her just projecting her insecurities into different elements and situations of his life. Let me know, do you have the password to your partner's phone?
We were meant to go to Thorpe Park. We went to Thorpe Park. He told her, I don't know why he did, and she was like, oh, take my kids with you. The thing is, I wouldn't mind that if she came with us. Why are we taking her children to Thorpe Park? We're not parents. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not mum. I feel as though, of recent, I've been sacrificing a lot of my time to look after kids that are not mine.
Okay.
When you become a parent, you make that sacrifice, isn't it? You drop a lot of your life for your children. Why am I doing that without being an actual mum? And the real mum is having fun.
Oh.
Did you have a discussion about this trip to Thorpe Park prior to going?
With him or with his sister?
About the situation, how it was going to happen, that he invited or however it came up?
I didn't know it was happening. He wanted us to go to Thorpe Park. That was good. He went to tell his sister and then she imposed her children on us. That's just my issue. And it happens many, many times. When they cry, I try and help them. And again, they don't necessarily know. They need their mum, isn't it? Like, every child needs their mum. If I don't know how to shut them up, I'm a bad person. If I don't know how to make her child laugh or smile, I'm a bad person. So why the hell does she keep giving me her children?
Okay, Denise. Wow, I literally didn't expect this. And to be fair, I'm very, very disappointed in you.
Why?
First of all, let's break down the words you're using. Dump. Yeah.
Okay, maybe wrong choice of words, but...
So now, if we're actually speaking about my sister that I love dearly, her children that are practically my children, and you know how much I love her children.
So why are you not taking care of them?
Out of the love that you have for me, you should love them the same, and you should look after them. Because you love me. If you love me, and you know how much I love these kids, you look after the kids. If you're
Mutual support and family conflict. I spoke recently about family conflict and how this can be detrimental to some relationships if not handled appropriately. I feel that there is a lack of mutual support when it comes to Paul and CHIOMA. Paul has expressed he loves his sister dearly, he loves his nieces and nephews dearly, but he hasn't expressed the love that he has for CHIOMA and their relationship. Because in relationships, you are a team and there needs to be a bit of mutual support. Given the fact that Paul has just said this is the first time he's heard CHIOMA speak about this and his sister, I hope that they can come to a mutual understanding with maybe him and his sister sitting down and just speaking about the difficulties and the issues that they have. Maybe the sister also has an issue with CHIOMA, and I think it's something that definitely needs to be discussed just so that there can be a bit more mutual support and understanding for CHIOMA as Paul's girlfriend.
Is there anything else he could do? He's spoken about these very expensive presents, but is there anything else he could do to show you, to make you feel more comfortable?
I just feel... I just think more straightforward answers. You know, if I ask you a question, just, you know, it's not, you have to be shaky about it. Like, just tell me where you're going. Just tell me what you're doing. Like, I don't know, like, am I doing something that you don't want to, like, I don't know why. The phone situation for me is just a strange one, but I don't know, like, I don't really want to be telling him to be more loose with his phone. Like, it should just be natural. Do you get what I mean? I don't want to tell him, you know, make sure you leave your phone on the table so that I can have a peek at it. Do you get what I mean? It should just be more natural.
I'm here for peace and tranquility, if I'm best to be honest, so...
It's nice that Denise asks Deborah what does she want from Jamal, or what will make her feel comfortable, because Deborah has been very expressive in the sense where sharing that she feels very insecure and feels on edge when Jamal behaves the way he does. And throughout the therapy session, what you will see is Deborah helping both couples explore in a lot more detail and really expressing themselves and expressing what they want from a relationship. And when you're able to express yourself and share what you want from a relationship, being open and honest, this is how change is going to come, and you can work as a team moving forwards for the next sessions.
If my family was involved so much, like your sister, not even your family, your sister, you would have an issue with that. Knowing you, knowing him, he would probably leave me because it's just too much to handle. Okay? The thing is, she hasn't even given me a chance from the jump. Do you understand? So
that's why I'm saying it would be, you know, helpful to find a way of diffusing this emotion that you're feeling towards his sister.
If she's not going to be respectful in my house, then she can stop coming.
Denise, what you're failing to understand is that there's this toxicness coming out of CHIOMA towards my sister. The energy's going that way. It's not coming back. She needs to deal with what's inside her first, and then we can move on to heal the world. CHIOMA, you need healing.
I need healing. I need healing from who? From your sister?
From yourself.
No, let me tell you something. I will heal perfectly if you stop her from coming to the house. Honestly, I won't complain again. If I don't have to see your sister again, maybe except Christmas and our wedding day, because we're getting married, then she doesn't, I will heal.
Okay, babe.
I won't have an issue with that, honestly, true to God. If you can do that for me, babe, then I'm
Paul
fine. Since you don't want to listen.
Babe.
Pardon?
Paul would have an issue with that.
Well, then he's not taking into account what I am saying.
Babe.
His sister hates me.
Babe.
And he thinks that it's normal.
Babe, you need healing, babe.
Go away, man, because you're not listening to me.
Paul is being quite passive aggressive and showing a lack of understanding when CHIOMA is talking about his sister. Now, Paul said that CHIOMA needs healing from herself. I disagree. CHIOMA doesn't need healing from herself. CHIOMA needs to find healing within her relationship, because as you can see, things are getting very toxic and CHIOMA is unable to take this anymore, essentially. So she wants help. And I think it's for Paul to just stop thinking very subjectively and think more objectively and have a better understanding of the situation at hand, as opposed to what he feels and what he believes to be true.
My auntie would do everything for her husband, from the finances, from washing his clothes, the housework. And for me, I kind of vowed to myself, like, that's not a relationship. I don't want to ever be the woman doing that in a relationship. And for that reason, I'm very particular about how I want my guy to be. And actually, to answer your question, I think that's why my previous situationships, let's call it, hasn't worked. I was manipulated by this guy. I feel like he took advantage of me. There's a lot of things that he did and I found myself doing, which is what I said I did not want to do. So one of the reasons why I did get with Jamel is because he didn't show me that at the start of the relationship. He was being that male figure. He was looking after me. He was buying me the gifts. So it's like now when he's kind of like backtracking, it's very uncomfortable for me, and like I said, insensitive, because you know how I felt at that time, and you kind of met me after I came out of that situation with that guy. So
it seems like Deborah is fearful of being controlled based on her past experiences with her situationships that she's been in. So her fear of being controlled has now been brought into her relationship with Jamal, and so her behaviour may seem quite controlling for Jamal because she doesn't want Jamal to control her. Now, this is a reflection of her insecurities and how the way she thinks and the way she feels is having an impact on her behaviour. So it'll be very interesting to see whether Deborah is able to understand that her behaviour can seem quite controlling as a result of her blueprint and her past.
I'm sorry for making you feel like that, but I feel like just coming from that place, I definitely understand it. I feel like now we need to think about a solution to move forward. That's why we're here. And that's why I obviously brought her to therapy as well, because I feel like it's great for both of us, but as individuals as well, like we're still in a relationship, correct? But there's still things that we deal with as individuals. Like emotions and dealing with particular things, past traumas and situationships. And I've always been that safe space for her. She's been my peace of mind, and vice versa. Like, I feel like we're at our best when we actually understand what we're saying, we're communicating, we're getting what each other's saying. Like, she's beautiful inside out. And I tell Deborah this all the time.
It's great to hear you saying the word we. Because that's, when you're in a couple situation, it's music to my ears to hear people saying, we like this, we do that, we do the other. Because that means you're working as a team. And for any relationship to work, it has to be teamwork. Do you think that there's a future of you two working as a team?
I would love to think so. I just hope it's mutual. That's the reason why we're here today. Like, we actually want to move past this. I see Deborah potentially being my wife. That's why I'm doing crazy things. Like, I'm working bonkers. Like, there's numerous things that I have aspirations for ourselves. And just continuously building.
I don't trust him, sorry. I'm sorry to say, I'm really sorry to say. I know you're trying to be sensitive, and I appreciate that, babe. But at the same time, I'm not entirely happy, if I'm honest.
End of episode 3. Now, this episode was really good. I love the fact that both couples are exploring more, and as you can see, things are getting said that both couples come to a surprise about. And essentially, when it comes to therapy, it's all about exploring new avenues. It's all about getting a better understanding of your partner and essentially coming together as a we, as Denise said. When you're in a relationship, it's a teamwork, it's a we, it's not an I. Let me know how you found episode 3 in the comment section, and I will see you next when I review episode 4. Take care. Bye.